Sora sat on the porch, staring at a pile of shimmering purple planks and a set of blueprints. "I'm going to build the most magnificent sky sled today," she whispered to the morning mist. But her feet stayed heavy, and her hands stayed tucked in her pockets. She was waiting for the oomph, that magical feeling that makes a big task feel as light as a feather. Without the oomph, she felt like a statue carved of stone. Her neighbor Brio, a round and industrious mouse wearing a tiny green vest, scurried across the yard. He stopped and looked at the untouched wood. "Waiting for a tailwind, Sora?" he squeaked, his whiskers twitching with curiosity. Sora sighed and looked at the clouds. "I'm waiting for my spark to land, Brio. I just don't feel like a builder today. I'm waiting until I feel the spark of motivation." Brio didn't say a word. Instead, he hopped into his garden of oversized, neon-colored flowers. He began to dig into the dirt, pulling at a stubborn, glowing root that didn't want to move. He didn't look like he was waiting for a spark. He looked like he was simply busy. He hummed a low tune, his little muscles working hard under his vest. "The garden doesn't grow on feelings," he called out between breaths. High above the trees, a golden spark, a tiny bird made of pure, dancing light, zipped through the indigo sky. Sora stood up on her tiptoes and reached out, her heart fluttering. "Over here," she cried. "I'm ready. Come and give me the energy to start." But the spark didn't stop. It looped around a tall sunflower and disappeared into the clouds, leaving Sora feeling even heavier than before. Brio climbed up the porch steps, dragging a heavy, ornate silver hammer behind him. He pushed it towards Sora's boots. "The spark is a very shy guest, Sora," Brio explained, wiping his brow. "It rarely visits people who are just sitting and waiting. It prefers to join the party once the work is already happening. It doesn't start the engine, it just cheers for the driver." Sora picked up the hammer. It felt cold and heavy in her hand. Her mind felt like a cloudy afternoon, and her body wanted nothing more than to curl up for a nap. She didn't feel like a builder, and she certainly didn't feel motivated. "I'll just do one thing," she muttered to herself. "Just one nail. Even if I feel gray, I can move my arm." Clang! Sora swung the hammer. The first nail went in crooked, because she wasn't quite focused. Clang! She hit the second one, and a tiny shower of star-shaped sparks flew from the wood. She picked up another plank, then another. Something strange began to happen. The gray feeling in her chest started to melt away, not because she waited, but because she was moving. As Sora fastened the frame of the sled, a warm, golden glow brushed against her cheek. She didn't even have to look up to know what it was. The golden spark bird had returned, fluttering its wings of light. It didn't bring the energy to start. It was drawn to the rhythm of her hammer. It perched right on the edge of the sled's new wing, singing a song that matched the beat of Sora's work. Brio stood back in his garden, leaning on his rake and smiling. He watched Sora work with a newfound speed, her movements graceful and sure. "See?" he whispered to a nearby ladybug. "You don't need to feel like a lion to start the hunt. You just have to start walking, and the lion inside will eventually wake up. Action is the whistle that calls the spark home." By sunset, the sky sled was finished. It had sails made of silk and starlight, and it floated a few inches off the ground, ready for adventure. Sora and Brio climbed into the seats. Sora realized that the oomph wasn't something you caught like a cold. It was something you built like a sled. She didn't need to feel ready to be brave. She just had to begin.